Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review we are looking at the Marvel Legends Toysrus exclusive A-Force 6-pack Singularity, which is another incredibly basic figure, and objectively we're gonna have to call it mediocre objectively, but subjectively I like it. I kind of like it. It's translucent, it has glitter in it. I don't know, I'm a sucker for translucent figures, so like I said, objectively there's one issue and then subjectively there's another. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands to the top of the head only about 5.5 inches. If you count the hair, it's closer to 6.25, which makes it just about, let's say, 14 to the head and 16 to the top of the hair. And as I mentioned, objectively, it's entirely reused parts aside from the head, and there's almost no paint on it. The only paint is this purple shading throughout and the eyes. So on paper, it's not a great figure. There's not a whole lot you're getting for your money. However, it does look really good. What they did, they achieved fairly well, and I like it. I have one slight issue in terms of the paint, other than there isn't much, but there's not supposed to be, so I get it, is the hair has this really cool, like, pinkish metallic paint, and the rest of the body just has this kind of darker purple. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, it's kind of like a weird thing to describe on paper, so like in the comics it's going to look a little bit different. So I could justify it that the hair is different than the body, so that's fine, but this does look awesome. So it would have just been cool to see that throughout, but again, that's a subjective thing. So if you want a lot of paint, you're not getting it here, but they did do a really nice translucent blue with glitter in it, so it takes me right back to the 90s, and I like that very much. The head sculpt is actually pretty cool. It's a standard female head sculpt. They almost all look the same from Hasbro, so no real issues there. But the hair has a nice, unique sculpt. It's very, very cartoonish, kind of blocky looking, so I like that. It's a pretty cool look for the character, so that's pretty good. As far as the articulation goes, as you can see, the head is the right height from the body. That's good. We do have a little bit of lollipop, but it's not super noticeable. You do get the ball peg, of course, which is hyper articulated, and you have the hinge, so you can make it look like you broke it, but you probably don't want to do that. So it's essentially, you're going to be able to swivel it and move it around a little bit, but use your own discretion. For the shoulders, we have our ball hinge, which we've seen a million times, and it works really nicely, so that's pretty good. Of course, we have our full rotation. That's standard. No bicep swivel except for down here at the elbow, but we do get it there. And we have a better than 90-degree hinge. So as far as single elbow joints go, this one's okay. The wrists, of course, have their swivel and hinge in them. Really nothing new there. Same on both sides, though we do have a fist hand on this side. For the diaphragm joint, just as I've said before, the female figures tend to have pretty good articulation. This one, not so much. Unfortunately, it's fairly limited. It really requires a lot of force for me. I mean, maybe mine's just messed up, but it doesn't really want to move very much at all. Just a tiny bit. Really no side to side. It's mostly just going to be a swivel there. So that's a bit of a bummer. For the hips, it's standard hips. Essentially, it's the ball peg. Doesn't have the best range, though. Can go pretty far forward, just not all the way. Thigh swivels are fine. Double jointed knees work just fine. So, it's pretty much standard articulation. Shin swivel, if you like that, it's there. Ankles go pretty far forward, though it took a lot of force to free these things up. They were very, very tight, so be careful with that. It is worth noting the joints are not translucent plastic, which is a good thing. You would think you would want them translucent so they match, but no. Translucent would definitely be more fragile. It's either going to be really soft or really brittle, so using the blue plastic is a good thing. And then, of course, they do go all the way back, and you have your ankle rocker, so, it's fine. It's not anything impressive. It's, like I said, very subjective for this figure because there's not a whole lot to actually like, but if you like what's there, then it's a really good figure. If you don't like what's there, then you could easily make the argument for it to be a bad figure. It's a really subjective thing here, so it's going to be up to you guys, but I'm telling you, I do like it, and it's a nice addition to the set, even though it's not entirely impressive. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be reviewing this whole set, one figure each day, so make sure you come back to see the rest of it. And I do have other videos coming up every single day. Not doubling up on every day, though. I don't know if I have enough to do that. But either way, come back. You'll see what we have planned. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And in the meantime, keep collecting.